what's popping, y'all? 50 Cent is not playing around. He pulled into the old folks' home. He's flipping bingo boards or bingo tables. It's a mess in there. And this is just, I need you guys to like give me a moment of silence because this is such a heartbreaking thing because he goes at T.I. So we're going to cover him going at everybody involved in this is above the age of 45. And there's crazy shenanigans happening on here that you guys are probably like, there's no way these people are in their late 40s, 50s, some of them with grandkids that are going through this, but they are. So first, let's start off with T.I., and this is the one that broke my heart because, man, I love T.I.'s music, man. I love everything that T.I. has done, but we're going to start it off. So this got reset. Like T.I. and 50 Cent have had a complicated relationship for going on maybe close to 10 years, and part of this is because 50 Cent is really not with that telling stuff. More so than Boosie, because Boosie, we know him to be like, nah, I don't mess with that telling, that rat and stuff, and that is true. But Boosie had that back and forth with T.I., and they were able to patch that up. But 50 Cent, he wasn't too happy with anybody that's told. And T.I., he would call out 50 Cent again on Shannon Sharp.
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though. Oh, Lord. I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool. So now here we trying to think about other people. Right.
So this is in regards to a versus, and the response that 50 Cent had did not seem like one where he was just playing around.
Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2, community coverage, you can count.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize who that is?
Yeah, that's Phil.
Okay.
Oh, that's his body.
In 34A.
Yeah, that's the entry wound.
And that's a picture of Fallant with the bullet hole in his head?
Yes, it is.
And that's the bullet hole that you described to the jury as being in his temple on the left side?
Yeah.
How did Fallant's family find out about his death?
I told him. I called his mom first, then I told his cousin. I told his little girl.
How old was his little girl?
His daughter was 4 years old at the time. Five years old at the time.
And how did you tell his daughter that her father was dead?
He's in a better place and he won't be coming.
And the best part about this is where he says, I know Atlanta pick and choose who they support, but y'all gotta do better. LOL, keep my name out your mouth. And the picking and choosing must have to do with Gunna and Young Thug. So I don't know how Gunna or Young Thug more so, is going to be around 50 Cent. But two of these are very popular clips. One of them, which is the initial one, the tip line one, that was part of the deal for T.I. to get out of this major gun case that he had in the 2000s that a lot of people were saying like, yo, he had to tell on somebody to get out of that. And the second one was, yeah, you see him in court. So make what you will of that. None of this is new. But then T.I., he goes and does a podcast with $1 Million Worth of Game where he seems confused about this whole situation, but he doesn't seem like he ups the ante in the same way that he did with a Boosie or anyone else who has ever come at him for this telling stuff.
Okay, so first, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. That what the shit hold to be back. It hold to be back, around doing something with another artist that that you respect, this, that, and the other. Right. And so even the first time when I was saying, and mind you, me and talked about this, bro. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just called it blue. Okay. We talked about this. We said what we were gonna do.
You talking about you were 50?
Yeah, man. We talked about this shit, man. This shit come out of nowhere. All right. We were around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and shit. We were around each other, man. You know what I mean? Mm. I said, think about this. Like, you want to do that shit? Yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So and I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. Wow. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, like he ain't know what's going on. Oh. And to me, that just, so, at that point, then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it about, oh, you playing? Oh, okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. But how about all of it? All of it. I don't even want, man, cause now I question your character. Any gonna get kick that kind of in, man. So you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame, man, goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out
Yeah,
there.
years ago. Years ago we spoke about
I
it.
think it'd be a great battle, though. I think,
Man, that gonna happen. That gonna happen, man. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I have no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect him.
Now,
yes. Let's get to something else. $1 million worth of game, we don't really do the beef.
Now, shockingly, you see both Gilly and Wallow, they're almost looking in different directions. You've got Gilly throwing up both hands, letting anybody associated with 50 Cent know, like, hey, we are not involved in this. We don't do any beef. Man, they do a lot of instigating. It just depends on who it is. Now, I don't know what it is that 50 Cent, I don't think it's that 50 Cent has access to anything that's scarier than these guys. I just think 50 Cent is willing to do whatever it takes to cause harm to the reputation of people that oppose him. And I think these other guys, their lives are good, and they're like, man, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, the beefing spirit is not in their heart. It was just in their circumstances. With 50 Cent, the beefing spirit is in his heart. It doesn't matter what circumstance. You could have him up in Stade, Switzerland, and 50 Cent, if there's smoke or beef to be had, he will be there. So the T.I. is talking about, they talked about a versus 6 years ago, and then, now 50 Cent's not a man of his word because he doesn't want to do a versus. Well, businesses change and things change. Versus hasn't been hot. Like, when he's talking 6 years ago, that's 2020. Yeah, 2020, 2021, Triller versus, that's when it was a really big deal and everybody's attention was on it. Right now, I mean, is a versus really that popping? And between T.I. and 50 Cent, like, how many people really care about that? I don't know. And then 50 Cent would post T.I.'s wife. So T.I.'s wife is Tiny. He's been with her for a very long time. This is one of those marriages where we got to salute T.I. because how many marriages have lasted, right? Let's be real here. Like I always say this, there is a 100% failure rate, especially of these content creator streamer relationships, even more so rapper relationships nowadays, but they have stuck it out, T.I. and Tiny. So that's something we should give a lot of respect to. And it just gets more and more disrespectful, but T.I. is kind of reserved. He's not bringing out the gangsta T.I. that a lot of people have seen. However, King, who is T.I.'s son, T.I. and Tiny's son, he comes out with wild levels of disrespect.
Say something about my mama. Your mama dead as fuck. Your mama dead as fuck. Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. Nigga, she dead. Nigga. Pay respect. Nigga. Stop playing with my mama. Nigga. Playing like that. Nigga. Going like that. Nigga. How y'all been raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. Nigga. I'm not going. Nigga. So tell your dead ass mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama. Nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. Y'all nigga tie y'all nigga know who the fuck I fuck with. Nigga. You better put that music up and nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Cause all that other shit ain't gonna get it. On my mother. Your mama dead as fuck, nigga. Dig that bitch up. Not going. Nigga, not going. Now what the fuck you gonna do about that? Nigga, not going. I don't give a fuck how nigga dead. Nigga, not going. Nigga posting my mama like your mama ain't dead as fuck. Go put some flowers on that bitch grave, nigga. Man, nigga posting my mama legend. Your mama J, nigga. Stop, man. Don't never think you can get on this level and you can compete with us, nigga. We on a whole different ball game, nigga. We got a whole different type of level of respect around here, nigga. You get on that do that bitch shit, nigga. I would say that shit to your face, nigga.
I think, listen, man, you guys got to take this from me as somebody who is certainly favoring 50 Cent over King of all people. And I do have to be fair that 50 Cent, he upped the ante first. But to take it to the point where he's dissing 50 Cent's dead mother, man, I don't know. I can't co-sign that. Of course I can't co-sign that. But it also makes T.I. look badly because your son is taking up your battles. What the hell is that? And this is also another thing. 50 Cent is posting T.I.'s wife. We have never seen Tiny do anything remotely close to disrespecting, embarrassing, or doing anything but honor T.I. If you guys take a look at some of the crazy accusations that T.I. and Tiny had to face, the worst thing that you could have seen was, oh, Tiny was hanging out with Floyd Mayweather at a party where there were a bunch of other celebrities, and then a bunch of accusations that they got of potential quote unquote like some Me Too stuff. But that Me Too stuff was Tiny getting bad chicks to get involved in their adult activities. So if anything, that's completely different from a 50 Cent who his baby mama, Daphne Joy, she was allegedly, if she was the one that was up there testifying, which come on now, she was getting rained on, and we're not talking purple rain, we're not talking acid rain, we are talking the golden rain, rained on by Diddy, ran through by all of these other male escorts, and saying that she enjoyed it and wanted this to be done to her more and more. So that is beyond humiliating. It doesn't matter what Tiny could look like an under the bridge troll gremlin. It doesn't matter what Daphne Joy looks like, because, you know, everybody's like enamored with her, especially when she was younger. And 50 Cent was too, you know, he was her photographer. But photographer, not actual photographer. But, you know, he was in the beach taking photos with her. He was claiming her. And these are the disgusting acts that she did. On top of that, also betraying Diddy, who was like paying for her rent as well. But this is just, and T.I. didn't take it there. So I think T.I. just wants this to blow over. I don't know why 50 Cent is harping on T.I. so much here, but I just think this was a business thing gone wrong. And I think 50 Cent felt like, yo, the fact that I was even considering doing business with this guy who told, I'm not going to be played with right now. I think it was just business. He's like, yo, this doesn't make sense to do anymore. Why would I even do it? And like I said, T.I., both of these rappers, to me, I just love what they've done. Like, T.I. is what brought me into the South, like Southern music, and really, really paying attention to Southern music. Like, yes, of course, there was Outkast before that and a couple of different acts, like some Florida acts, but T.I. really, really brought, like, it's trap music, dog. Like, he brought trap music on the map. And Outkast felt more, it was from the South, it was Atlanta, but Outkast just felt mainstream, especially like how young I was when Outkast was like really, really blowing up. Like, dude, I think Outkast dropped their first album before I was even born. But T.I., just a different, like the amount of times I've run back a number of T.I. projects, not just Urban Legend, but King, and also, what was it, T.I. versus Tip, Paper Trail, of course, that's like the really popular one, but No Mercy, I feel like that was an underappreciated T.I. album. I've listened to that one so many times. And T.I.'s Grand Hustle as a record label, right after T.I., we got B.O.B., and B.O.B. is one of those artists, especially 2009, and we're talking B.O.B. versus Bobby Ray, before the album even dropped, his mixtape. B.O.B., that span from 2009 to 2012, like, man, that's got such a special place in my heart. And then you got to think he also gave us Meek Mill. He was signed to Grand Hustle, I believe, and Travis Scott. So T.I. has done a lot for the game. Now, some people will also say, yo, you conveniently forgetting that he brought Iggy Azalea into the game? Yes, I'm conveniently forgetting that he brought Iggy Azalea into the game. We're casting that aside. And let's not pretend like Fancy wasn't a hit. It's just that we didn't want to hear everything else Iggy Azalea had to say, to be fair. Now, with 50 Cent, of course, that guy's just like a superhero. But this is like 50 Cent is 50 years old. T.I.'s trying to be mature in this situation, but now he's being looked at like, yo, why are you being such a quote unquote sucker in this regard to 50 Cent, who's the big old boogeyman, which, let's be real here. 50 Cent got a bag off of doing a whole documentary on his biggest op, Diddy. So T.I. is probably looking at it like, hey, man, you know, like, if this guy can dig up a story and make a documentary about me as well, maybe I've got some stuff that I don't want out there. I think I can just take the L. I don't think this is like a tough guy thing from T.I.'s aspect. More so it is protecting his reputation and understanding that he doesn't enjoy the battle and he enjoys his peace. Now, somebody who does not enjoy his peace, who has also come back and forth with 50 Cent, is Jim Jones, another person who he would like to think that for New York City he's as important as I described T.I. for the South, when he's not. talking about how he influenced all of the fashion in the game, how he got Kid Cudi his deal, he put Kid Cudi on, and a number of other things, including but not limited to not being able to draft up a PDF and being proud of not doing anything to help Ye, meanwhile using Ye's name to get a $2 million deal just by putting him into contact with some people that wanted to create some crypto coin. And that is none other than Jim Jones, of course. Now, Jim Jones has been at it with 50 Cent for quite a while. And 50 Cent, this is the thing with 50 Cent, why I say he loves the game of beefing. Jim Jones, he's throwing some stones and Kid Cudi replies, but that's really all there is to it. But most people don't have to reply to a Jim Jones. Yet 50 Cent, who is, if we're talking tiers, right? Like 50 Cent is S tier when it comes to business, mogul, legacy, all of the above. Jim Jones isn't even a speck on his shoe, with all due respect. But 50 Cent, he's like, okay, this guy wants to play with me. Say less. We're going to make an example out of him too. Jim Jones is what, 48, 49, damn near 50 years old. Now he has been consistent with his rapping, but he got into the podcast game. And with the podcast game, let's rap about it, where they aren't doing too much rapping. He got a podcast with two other senior citizens in hip-hop, 45 plus. Fabulous, who we have nothing bad to say about here, like Fabulous. Dave East, nothing bad to say about either, like Dave East too. He doesn't really do much else. And Mano, who is also a bully in his own right. He's got his own like beef with academics right now. He's trying to get accustomed to the podcast game. But with that, they have a podcast space, which all of these guys have to do, and they all run into issues with rent. So the landlord was talking to 50 Cent because 50 Cent's like, yo, give me the paperwork. Where are these guys staying at? Let me kick them out of there. Or let me see if they're paying rent. And the landlord starts airing out their business.
Want to rent it. And I said, okay, fine. Right? He's been saying this for since October. And so he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want 6 months of build out. And ridiculous. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000.
Well, the landlord here isn't really airing out their business as much as he's talking to a potential investor and business partner, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, on whether he'd like to, come in on the deal. And he said that Jim Jones, not only is this guy not paying for $80K plus that he owes in rent, but he also said that he'd give him a portion of his media business, which how much is the media business really worth? So Jim Jones, he tries to save some face when this audio first leaked.
Since I'm starting the year off at the top of your Explorer, are you not entertained? Since everybody want to put my business in the street, I might as well talk to you about my business. Right now, I am in the second phase of construction, and we're not open to public. This is a raw space. I have not found out yet what I want to do exactly in this space, but in my mind, I was thinking of building like a little mart, but we'll see how that goes.
So Jim Jones is flexing. He's like, oh yeah, these guys trying to say I didn't pay my rent. Well, look at this space that I've got right here. Keep in mind, he's talking about this in January. This stuff started happening later around in December. And he's trying to say, hey, look, there's this factory that we've got where you can rent out spaces for content in New York City. Now, the whole thing that we got to wonder about is if the content thing is so profitable for Jim Jones and the rapping is so profitable, then why is he unable to make rent? So shouldn't that let you know that, hey, maybe if you want to get into this thing, don't rent a space out? Or it maybe the industry itself is not very profitable if the guy's trying to rent you the space, and for himself, he can't even make rent on the space, and he's supposed to be a very big rapper with several other very big rappers historically, at least in the tri-state area, with their own names. yeah, you should probably think about it that way. So Jim Jones always does it. Like, you're never going to hear Jim Jones be like, yeah, I took the L on that. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. No, you're never going to hear that from a guy like Jim Jones ever in your life. I mean, the guy wouldn't even admit that, like, he was trying to take credit for Kid Cudi. This is the craziest thing ever. Saying that, Kid Cudi, his Day and Night remix is what caused it to blow up. 99% of people said they never even knew a Jim Jones Kid Cudi remix existed. But 50 Cent would come back and he would show an eviction notice with IFC Management, Joseph Jones. And IFC Management is the company where he was saying that he was hosting or like renting out podcast rooms and people that want to do photo shoots and all that. And then they have the addresses, which are different suites. So it's 789 East 132nd Street, Bronx, New York. And then it shows the lease agreement between the companies and Joseph Jones, in this case, Jim Jones. And it says he got served with a 15-day notice of default, which means that he didn't pay his rent. So top of the year. And then, they said his tenancy has been terminated. So he's not supposed to be in there. However, in certain states in New York, not in New York, in the USA, if you get this, you kind of just toss it in the trash and you're like, all right, we'll see how long it takes you to get us out of here. That's why it's so difficult for people to rent, because landlords have to go through so much to be like, because if once they let you in there, they're like, it's going to be really hard to get this person out. And if they don't want to pay, we're going to lose a lot of money. So a lot of the times landlords will just be like, all right, dude, we'll give you like $25K to get out of here, or $10K or $15K. They'll just negotiate cash for keys because the person's like, nah, I don't want to pay rent anymore. Good luck trying to get me out. And that may take 6 to 12 months. So 6 to 12 months of no rent, the person is like, okay, like I might as well just give them money to agree to get out of here. So this guy, he's not going to play that game, the Asian landowner or the landlord in this scenario. So he's messing with them. He's turning off the heat in a cold New York City building. These guys are still pulling up in the big puffer. They're looking at it like an opportunity. Like, I get to keep rocking the jacket. I get to stay looking fly. Well, he eventually just changed the locks on the doors. And what happens? One of the most embarrassing things ever.
Cut the lights off. What's up? What happened? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine.
Yes, that is Jim Jones, nearly 50 years old, in behavior that you would expect from a YN or a teenager or maybe somebody in their 20s or perhaps a junkie. Like going in there, kicking down doors to get into his own place and then that he hasn't been paying for, and then trying to find the circuit breaker to turn on the light. And 50 Cent got this video so quick. Like this was within 16 hours 50 Cent had this posted on his IG. So he was locked in with the landlord. And this is the sad part, and this is what really, really bothers me, is there's a neighbor that's seeing all of this.
What's up? What happened? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine. It's my property.
So imagine you're the neighbor. You hear these guys yelling. They're stomping. They're kicking in doors. They're breaking down doors. Imagine the fear in this woman's heart. And he's like, nah, it's all good. What do you mean it's all good? You're like, so now the other business is getting threatened because of this. And 50 Cent would go on to clown this guy. And he would take a photo with the landlord. And he would say, Sam is my partner. I own the joint. Now you're going to fix every door you kick, or I'm going to kick you out, Jimmy. By Monday, you're destroying my property. And that's where he posted all of these separate video clips. And this is just humiliation of a different level. because I feel like the only people that can possibly think Jim Jones is cool in the modern day, and a lot of wanting to hear what somebody has to say is him being cool, or to buy something from him is to like them or think they're cool, is somebody that is holding on to their childhood image of Jim Jones. And they've got to be 40 plus. But this is the thing. If somebody's 40 plus, that old, they got to pay rent, they have responsibilities, and they're looking at it like, hold on, this guy had more opportunity than me. He had more fame than me. At one point, he had major hits, and I can figure out how to pay my own rent and make sure my life is in order. But this guy can't. And keep in mind, he allegedly got $2 million for hanging out with Ye a year ago. So where's the money going for Jim Jones? Is he spending it on Chrome Hearts? I mean, he's had Chrome Hearts for 25 plus years like he talks about. I mean, he put Chrome Hearts on like he tries to tell us, but this is just 50 Cent. This guy's just brutal. That's all there is to it. Frankly, I think T.I. can win this by just backing out. Just like let it cook, T.I. I don't think King should have come online. I think you should have, this too shall pass, because T.I.'s been accused of the snitching stuff so many times, and I like that T.I.'s not getting baited into this. Like I said, it hurts my heart to see that back and forth. Mano, he's got his own issues with 50, I think, but they're not getting into it. I think the rest of the podcast should fall back from Jim Jones potentially talking crazy, and Jim Jones just keeps holding these L's, man, like paying rent. Like, that's just make sure like the lights are off, the AC, not the AC, the heater is off. Like, if you cannot even operate the business and keep up costs, what are you doing here? And imagine you're renting from Jim Jones, right? You're like, okay, I see this thing on Peer Space, which it's listed on there. You're like, okay, let me get a spot for 2 hours. You pull up, there's no lights. You can't turn on the lights. It's freezing cold. There's no heat, and you're paying for the spot. And it's like, what the hell is this? So it's bad business all around. Not only if it was just, well, actually, no, I would never co-sign this, but if it was just Jim Jones suffering from his own space, you could say like, oh yeah, he finessed the landlord, but are we going to take him finessing up and coming creatives as like, oh yeah, that's cool, he can do that as well? Nah, come on now. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Is 50 Cent just ruthless? I mean, like, this guy took on Diddy this year, well, towards the end of last year. Diddy, Jim Jones, T.I., and it just goes to show you the best defense is a good offense, because 50 Cent switched up on that chick Daphne, said she's a little S worker, and was going at the head top of anybody that, kind of like tried to embarrass her as well, even though he came at her first. So he attacked her first, so nobody could come at her after that. And then he's going at Jim Jones, T.I., he's just beefing with everybody, and it's like a clean sweep. You're like, damn, 50, like, there's a reason we need another bulletproof game, because it's like the reputation is Teflon right now. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.